How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to Rangers Rundown. I feel like this season is the complete opposite of last season. Last season, we saw insane offensive production from multiple Rangers to get them really cooking in the second half of the season and really pushing for a playoff spot. Had we had a regular season last year, minus the pandemic, a lot of us truly thought the Rangers would have made one of the wild card spots. And this year, we're just seeing the complete opposite. This is a completely different team defensively than we saw last year. They just can't score goals. For the second time in 3 games, the Rangers have been shut out. Over the span of 3 games, the Rangers have scored 2 goals, both of which came from the fourth line. I don't know. They were talking about Mika Zibanejad before the game started. He's had 28 scoring chances so far this season. 28. 1 goal. It's a combination of different things, I'm sure. He had COVID. It's a weird year. They're in a really hard division. They're the youngest team in the league. But 1 goal out of 28 scoring chances? This is statistically his worst year in terms of accuracy since like his rookie season or maybe the year after, something like that. But he usually hovers around 10-ish% accuracy, I think, is what they said. And this year he's not even close to that. Towards the end of warm-up, Zibanejad and Marchand had a little standoff to see who would be the last one to step off the ice. Eventually, it led to a rock, paper, scissors, which Zibanejad won. So he was indeed the last one off the ice. I figured that'd give him a little boost, but not tonight. Not tonight. No Panarin tonight. He is day-to-day with a lower body injury, but we would see the return of Blackwell, and he looked like his normal self. He was back to pushing 110%, which was very nice to see. Lineup for tonight: Kreider, Zibanejad, Buchnevich. Lafreniere moves up to the second line in place of Panarin, so Lafreniere, Strome, Kakko. Blackwell's on the third line with Howden and DiGiuseppe, and then bottom line, Lemieux, Rooney, and Gauthier. They're not going to mess with that bottom line. It worked really well last game, so they kept it together, and they still looked well tonight. They still looked good tonight. Shesterkin was in net. He looked amazing tonight. He got the 3rd star in the game just because, my God, he was playing lights out. As well as Halak, obviously. Halak got the shutout, but Shesterkin stopped a lot of really good chances. He deserved that 3rd star. Lindgren, Fox, Miller, Trouba, Hayek, Potato, same decor as the last couple games. Johnson and Smith are both still injured. First period, 56 seconds in, Clifton takes a delay of game penalty, and we would see Miller get a little power play time, which was nice. He did well. Minute 40-ish spent in the zone before they were kicked out, but wouldn't score. They went 0 for 6 on the power play tonight, which is super annoying. 4:38, Gauthier made a really strong move towards the net. It was nice to see. He's riding energy from scoring his first NHL goal last game against the Bruins. 5:43, Igor makes a great save on Marchand. He didn't score tonight, which was always nice to see. Don't like seeing him score. 6:02, Kakko would take a tripping penalty. And they put up the graphic. Rangers are 8th in the league on the penalty kill. And after tonight, I'm sure they've moved up. Because after tonight, they've killed off 21 straight penalties. Rangers haven't let up a goal in 21 penalty kills. This is a completely different defensive team than we've seen in the previous year, but offensively, they're absent. So they would kill off that penalty, making it 18 straight kills. Kakko came out of the box after the penalty was over, made a great defensive play to get the puck out of their zone, and then he would skate back and he would make a good defensive play to put it on the net. So Kakko really stepping up this year. He does not want a sophomore slump. And although he hasn't scored as much as he probably wants to, he's always one of the best players on the ice for the Rangers in terms of forwards. 8:40, Lafreniere almost bats it into the net. That would have been such an insane goal. He played a little bit of baseball, but Halak would stop it. 13 minutes in, Zibanejad had a partial break off of really good defensive play in his own zone. He would take it out, partial break, but he wouldn't score. 17:01, Carlo would take an interference penalty. Power play was slow to set up, found its footing, but couldn't get anything to get into the net. After the first period, this was a fast game. Both teams just zipping up and down the ice. Really fast game. High energy. Not really a lot of space to set things up. Timing is really fast. It's the youngest team in the league, these Rangers. A lot of rookies who aren't used to playing at this intense of a speed, this intense of a pace, and they held their own. I gotta give it to them. These young kids, they're doing well. Second period opens up. Bruins take another early penalty to start a period. Coyle would take a slashing penalty, which Gauthier drew. Power play would 0 shots on that power play. Wasn't great tonight. 4:23, Lemieux would take a boarding penalty. It was a bad penalty for him to take. He gets a little hot-headed. That's why he's on the fourth line. That's why he's our fighter. That's what he's good at. It was an offensive zone penalty, just a bad one. But Rangers would kill it off, making it 19 straight kills. Igor made a great couple of saves on that penalty kill. He was hot tonight. 6:33. This is where things start to get super chippy between these two teams. Things really just started to get... These teams are just not friendly at all. And you could tell this second period was super uncomfortable to watch. These teams, it looked like it was just going to turn into a boxing match. Trouba would take 2 roughing penalties on the same play. He would take one against Zaboral and against McAvoy. McAvoy would take a roughing penalty against Trouba. So the Bruins would get a power play, but Rangers would kill it off, making it 20 straight kills. And then 9:27, what would end up being the game-winning goal, the stupidest, flukiest little goal. Ritchie shot it off the pads. He was coming around the net, and he would reach back and he would hit his own rebound, and it just kind of fluttered up and over the toe of Shesterkin and just slid right into the net. It was the flukiest little unimpressive goal that would end up winning the game. And when you can't score, goals like that are going to make a difference, because a goal like that shouldn't be a game winner, but tonight it was. And that's kind of embarrassing. A little bit. For me as a fan. And then the face-off right after that, 9:28, Lemieux and Frederick would get into a pretty nasty fight. It didn't look like a hockey fight. It looked like these two wanted to kill each other. It was the most hot-headed fight I've seen in a while. They fell down, and usually when a fight is over and both players are on the ice, the fight stops, and they go like, hey, nice job, and they both go to the box, 5 for fighting, whatever. They got on the ground, they got back up, and Frederick was still punching and punching. He was furious. It was the most hot-headed fight I've seen. They both go to the box. They were chirping each other for a good couple minutes. Even after play continued and they were in the box, they were still just chirping at each other. It was intense. Shortly after Ritchie plays whistle dead, Ritchie comes out in front of the net and he bumps Igor in the head. And he did not like that. He went over and he said something to Ritchie. His English isn't great, but I'm sure he cobbled something together to yell at Ritchie. And he would go up to him again shortly after and get in his face and bring his stick up. Shesterkin did not like that. And then 10:41, we get another multiple penalty play. Corrali would take a boarding penalty, and then Marchand would take a cross-checking penalty, and Howden would take a slashing penalty, all in the same play. And I thought Marchand was going to rip someone's head off. I thought somebody was going to rip Marchand's head off. It almost turned into just a brawl, just a free-for-all, no rules. I am trying to put you in the hospital. That's what it felt like. Very, very intense energy. So the Rangers get a power play this time after everything is kind of settled out. but 0 shots on the power play. Gauthier got power play time, which was nice to see. 15-14, Buchnevich and Lauzon get into a fight. You don't see Buchnevich fight. He's not a fighter. That's not what he's known for. And he did kind of get his butt kicked a little bit. But good on him for sticking up for himself. Lauzon would get an extra 10-minute misconduct. I'm not quite sure what for, but he would get the extra 10 minutes. The rest of the period, still high intensity. And after in that second period, Boston outshot the Rangers 18-6. 18-6. And that's just the second period. Also, at this point in the game, 40 minutes in, there's already 52 penalty minutes between the two teams. These teams do not like each other, and they play each other another 6 times this season. Each game probably going to be more intense than the next. Whew. This is going to be a crazy series between these two teams. We go into the third period, and it was the Rangers' turn to take an early penalty. 138, Trouba would take a holding penalty, but the Rangers would kill it off for 21 straight penalty kills, getting that percentage up. 431, McAvoy would take a tripping penalty. Bergeron almost scored shorthanded, which was terrifying to see. And then about halfway through the period, Kakko walked right in, but he held onto it for way too long. He should have shot it a little bit earlier because Carlo was able to get his stick in on it and ruin that chance. 13-22, Lindgren gets crunched into the boards. And I don't know if it was his visor or if it was the dasher, but he got cut right under his eye, and it was bleeding pretty good. I thought he was going to go to the locker room since there was only about 6 minutes left in the game, but he goes back to the bench and he says, no, patch me up. I'm finishing this game. And it was great to see. He would come back with about 4 minutes left in the game and play a couple shifts, so this guy's a beast. He is just heart and soul kind of guy. With 1:10 left, Igor would go to the bench, and then 18:58, McAvoy would take a delay of game penalty, shot it right over the glass. So the Rangers would have a 6-on-4, but Boston, very good defensively, kept it against the boards for most of that final minute of the game, and they would win 1-0. It was an intense game. It was fun to watch. It was also uncomfortable to watch at times, and I have to keep telling myself this is a young team, youngest team in the league, and you're playing Boston, who's first in your division and knows what it takes to win games and is very defensively sound and has one of the best goalie tandems in the entire NHL. This is not a surprising result. It's just very frustrating as a Rangers fan. Am I surprised the Bruins won? No. Am I surprised the Rangers got shut out? No, but I want to be. When is this team going to start scoring goals? Hedl needs to come back. He was the team's best center, and having him get injured was just backbreaking. In the past 3 games, Rangers have scored twice. From the bottom line. Yeah. Shots were 21-30 in favor of Boston. Face-off percentage 45.6. Power play went 0 for 6. 0 for 6. Hits 31-23 in favor of the Rangers. Blocks 12-18 in favor of Boston. The trivia question for tonight: which player has the most combined points playing for both the Rangers and Boston? I'll give you a second, as always. It was Phil Esposito, 1,416 career points. 404 of those were with the Rangers, and the other 1,012 were with Boston. A frustrating loss tonight. This brings the Rangers to 4-6-3. The game on Sunday against Philly is postponed, so we won't see the Rangers play again until Tuesday night against the Devils, who haven't played since January 31st. So they're going to be slow out of the gate. Hopefully the Rangers can get a win on Tuesday, feel a little better about themselves, and we push forward with the season. If you like this video and you want to see more videos like it, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next rundown.